Hi everyone, good evening. I'm glad to share this evening with you. I've been pondering on a question. Can there really be more? Can there really be more? Can there really be more? Is there any more of us? Do we expect any more than what we have? Should we pursue more? Should we hope for more? Should we step into the more? Is there anything called more? Because our world is fraught with problems, with challenges, with difficulties, with pain, with sicknesses, with weaknesses, with lack and hurt and failings and frailties and losses and lapses, insecurities, obscurities, heartbreaks, frustrations, disappointment, crisis, horror, death. All of this is what we see in our world. These have become man's lot. As a matter of fact, these have become man's companion. Man has been so broken by this, and man has asked, we have asked, is this all life offers? A man is born to go through all this pain and just die? Should we hope for more? Should we expect more? Or this is all there can be? However, we're told by God in Genesis that we made in His likeness. We made in His image. Being God means there has to be more of us. It means there has to be more in us. It means there has to be more than all we go through. There has to be more than just the pains we feel. We are not just made to pay bills and die. There must be more. Let me say this. Your lack is a proof that there's more provision and wealth. Your weakness is a proof that there is more power. Your protracted sickness is a proof that there is more health and healing. Your failings is a proof that there is more success. Your loss is a proof that there is more recovery. Your ridicule is a proof that there is more honor. Your distress is a proof that there is more rest. Your confusion is a proof that there is more calmness. Your restlessness is a proof that there is more rest. Your disappointment is a proof that there is more achievements. Your defeat is a proof that there is more victory. Your sorrow is a proof that there is more joy. Your insecurities and obscurities and doubts all prove that there is more assurance and stability. Your joblessness is a proof that there is more business. Your sinfulness is a proof that there is more righteousness. You see, all the things you are facing, everything man is facing, the turmoil, the pain, the hurt, the despair, the disaster, the heartbreaks, the frustrations, all prove that there has to be more. That there has to be more. that there has to be more. Because if you haven't tested the natural, you cannot unlock the supernatural. It takes lack to create wealth. It takes sickness to access health. It takes ridicule to locate your palace. It takes defeat to live in strategy and conquest. God said, for their shame, I will give them double. For their disgrace, I will give them double. Double inheritance, double joy. It therefore means there has to be more. Because double means more. Moses had a speech disorder. He could not talk well. He was ridiculed. As a matter of fact, Moses became a killer. Yet, there was more to him than the stammering man and the killer. He became the man who salvaged Israel from their slavery in Egypt. David had no childhood. He spent his life as a child in the bush, like a nomad. Even his father hardly remembers he has a son like David. In his pain, in his frailty, he stepped out of the camp of mediocrity. He killed the giant of God, and he became the king of Israel. There has to be more. Joseph spent 11 years as a slave and 2 years in prison. Yet, an ex-convict becomes the prime minister of Egypt. Yes, there has to be more. Yes, there has to be more. Hannah was barren, childless. She was mocked and ridiculed. She was defined by sorrow, pain, and grief. Yet, she became the mother of one of the greatest prophets the Bible ever recorded. Yes, there has to be more. Ruth had lost her husband at a very tender age of marriage. She had become a young widow. Yet, in her pain and difficulties, in her turmoil and despair, in her disappointments, she stepped out with Naomi, and the Bible records that she is one of the women in the genealogies of Jesus Christ, the King and Savior of the world. What will you say about Paul? A Christian slayer, a Christian killer, who turns to be the man that preserves Christianity, who becomes the man that extends salvation to the Gentiles, and wrote almost every book, 14 books of the New Testament, in a killer, was the future of Christianity. The disciples, they were poor, they were wretched, they were despised and mocked. They called them rascals, they called them retarded, they called them uneducated, they called them scallywags. Yet, in their defeat, Yet, in their emptiness, the Bible tells us that they turned their world upside down. What about Gideon? His clan was the least, the most impoverished, the poorest. And in his home, he was the most despised. Yet, it was still in that man that God put the salvation of Israel from the holds of the Midianites. The list is endless. We've heard of great people like Abraham Lincoln. We've heard of people like Ben Carson, people like Thomas Edison, people like Albert Einstein, people that walk or retarded, people who suffered in pain and sickness, in poverty and lack, people who had suffered a lot in their lives, losing those they loved to sicknesses that had no cure. Yet, there was more about them. What about people who born without hands and legs? People like Nick Vujicic, people like Mariusz Kedrensky. In their pain, in their frustration, there is still more. So what do you want to tell me about your life? Do you want to be pitied? Do you want to be shown sympathy? Simply because you're facing issues. You're killing yourself, crying all night, wasting your souls. Do you want to sit there and die? Do you think God created you for sympathy? No way. What you are experiencing is intentional for your training. Intentional for your training. Why not you wake up from your dust and shake the ashes off your body? Get your mind right. There is more in you. There is much more than you can ever imagine. God never hides greatness in the most beautiful places. No. He puts greatness in the most obscure place, in the most horrible circumstances. You see, where you are right now, and the pain you're going through, the frustrations you have faced, the failures, the lack, is not a curse. It is your opportunity for greatness. Yes, your opportunity for greatness. If there is more, if the more really exists, how can you step into it? How can we step into more? There is just one path I'm going to talk about now. I call it recognizing the opportunity in your pain. Recognizing the opportunity in your pain. Recognizing the opportunity in your pain. This is how you step into the mold that you have been wired with. Your pain is your opportunity. Recognize it. There is something powerful that only you can do because of the experience of your circumstance. Find it. There is a more that only you can unlock. Find the door. There is a more that only you can step into. Begin to walk into it. Now, for you to see the opportunity in your pain doesn't come by making noise and talking and crying and begging for pity and sympathy. It is a function of clear thinking, clear and objective thinking that will activate your study, that will activate your faith, that will activate your prayer, that will activate your strategy, that will activate your fight. Your more is in your mind. Your more is in your mind. It's in the power of your mind. The woman who had 12 years issue of blood, she had suffered for so long. She had been despised and rejected. She was smelling. She had lost everything. But she knew she was made for more. She knew she can step into her more. And so she recognized an opportunity. It is called the garment opportunity. No one else knew that touching the garment of Jesus could bring healing. Hundreds of hands touched him, and none of them was healed. But because she recognized the garment opportunity, she got her healing from what 100+ persons touched without effect. The power of clear and objective thinking will propel you to see things that others cannot see because of the experience of your pain. The friends of the paralyzed man knew there was more for their friend. And when they came to where Jesus was, they found an opportunity. It is called the roof opportunity. No other person thought about that. For you to step into your mold, you've got to think. Think. Because your pain has an opportunity. And they opened their roof and lowered their friend down. Though many persons were on the queue to be healed, but Jesus healed that man instantaneously. You see what I'm saying? Your pain has an opportunity that only you can undertake. But it won't happen if you don't start thinking. It will not happen if you're focused on the wrong things. The centurion had his servant sick, and his servant was at the verge of death. And he knew there was more that his centurion was created for. And when he met Jesus, he recognized an opportunity. It is called geographical opportunity. You don't have to walk to my house. Simply speak the word, and my servant will get healed. And Jesus was surprised. I have never seen such a faith like this before. But that was the opportunity that was necessary to bring healing to his servant. Oh, what about Elisha? He knew there was something more. He was mocked. He was scorned. He was ridiculed. He was written off. Even his master asked him to go back. But he recognized an opportunity. An opportunity called the mantle opportunity. The mantle opportunity. He said, no, I've got to take this mantle. It is what I need to step into. The more that God has put in me. The more that God has put in me. He didn't go back. until he got the mantle. Let me tell you something. Later on, when he died, his body had decomposed, left with his bones in the tomb. A dead man was thrown into the tomb of Elisha. The Bible tells us that the dead bones of Elisha gave life to the dead body of the dead man. How can the dead give life to what is dead? There has to be more. There is more about your life. There is more about you. What you have not focused on is the opportunity of your circumstance. What you're not looking at is the opportunity of your pain. Because if you can grab the opportunity, you can step into your more. What opportunities are you recognizing? Each pain has a specific opportunity. Your pain should keep you thinking. Your pain should keep you studying. Your pain should keep you praying. Your pain should keep you asking questions. Your circumstance should keep you moving. Your ordeal should keep you fighting. Fighting to see the opportunities, praying to see the opportunities, studying to see the opportunities, asking questions to see the opportunities. Because when you recognize the opportunity of your problem, you can step into the more that the Lord has put in your life. When you find the opportunity, you can unlock the door to your more. Your pain has never been the problem. The problem has been you, has been your mentality, has been your ideology, has been your ignorance, has been the circle, the people you clothe yourself with. Your problem has been your comfort in death, because you're prepared to cry and die. You're prepared to sit down there and die and not step into your opportunities. Joshua told his men, place your legs on the necks of the king. Why? Because we are stepping into the opportunity of our predicaments. And his men placed their legs on the necks of 5 kings. And they slayed their heads. And after that time, Israel was never troubled by any foreign country. Recognize your opportunity. Recognize your opportunity. This is your word. God says, break up your unplowed ground. Clear lots of ground for your tents. Make your tents large. Spread out. Think big. You are going to need lots of elbow and muzzle. What you are going to experience is overtaking nations. Don't be afraid. Don't hold back. Expand your life to its fullest. To its fullest. Expand your life to its fullest. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 2 and 3, Message translation. You see, I told you, there has to be more. God says expand. It means there has to be more. You are made for more. Yes, there is more about you. Think it. Pray it. Imagine it. Study into it. Observe it. Run towards it. Pour out yourself into your more. Your more is in your capacity. Your more is in your expansion. Remember, Ephesians 3:20 says, God is able to do immeasurably, abundantly, above all we ask or ever imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. There is more. Think it. There is more. Study it. There is more. Believe it. There is more. Pray it. There is more. Run after it. There is more. Expand your capacity for it. There is more grace. There is more power. There is more anointing. There is more healing. There is more victory. There is more triumph. There is more recovery. There is more joy. There is more love. More success. There is more and more and more. Yes. Can there be more? Yes. There is more. Because you, me, and everyone has been made for more. God bless you.